Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. Welcome to beautiful Duluth, Minnesota. I am here today visiting my beautiful friends and also tasting some pie. We just drove up to the north shore of Lake Superior and stopped by Betty's Pies, which is a North Shore institution. The parking lot was packed. We thought we beat the lunchtime rush because it was 1:30, but no, the place was packed. We had to wait 15 minutes for a table, so I decided to get a bunch of slices of pie to go so I could do the taste test later. So Betty's Pies is a North Shore institution. It's been around for over 50 years. They have a large selection of pies, including cream pies, pies with a top and bottom crust, and crunch pies with a crunch topping, and I got at least one from each of those categories. So I have all my pies open in front of me, and now we're going to taste them. So the flavors of pie that I got today are pretty classic, but I did get a couple that are signature Betty Pies. So yesterday at a bookstore I picked up this, and this is the original Betty's Pies favorite recipes, and I just looked at all these flavors that I'm going to be tasting today are included in this book, so I'm super excited to see how the recipes will taste compared to the real stinking deal. All right, enough talking. Let's taste some pies. Okay, so the first one I'm going to taste is this one, and this is the apple pie. It consists of 2 layers of crust and, of course, an apple pie filling. So let's give this a go, shall we? Smells just like a classic apple pie. I can smell the tanginess of the apples. I can definitely smell some cinnamon. Let's give this a go. Flaky crust. The crust is also speckled with a bit of cinnamon sugar. So by the looks of it, this looks like apple pieces. It doesn't look like slices. Alrighty, let's give this a go. Itadakimasu. Oh, that's good apple pie. You know what I'm immediately struck with? It is nice and tart. I love a good tart apple pie. I don't like pies that are just so cloyingly sweet, and this is not. This tastes like fresh, crisp fall autumnal apples. It's tangy and it's got a nice bite to it. I love it. The filling itself is soft and well cooked. It's thicker than applesauce, but more kind of soft and cooked and pureed that way. There's no crunchy bits, no chunks. Delicious. Just a touch of cinnamon on the top, not overly cinnamony. All you really taste is that really great apple flavor. It's one of the best apple pies I've ever had, actually. I'm not usually an apple pie person because of just those reasons I told you. They can be too sweet, or the apples are hard and they're not well cooked. This is wonderful. The pie crust is actually really great too. It's not buttery, but it is flaky and just really good counterpoint to the filling of this apple pie. Delicious. By the time I get back to New England, it's going to be full-on apple season, and I'm definitely going to be trying that apple pie recipe. Definitely. Okay, to switch things up, next I'll be tasting this. And this is the 5-layer chocolate pie. Oh my word. Now, when they say 5-layer, there's 1 layer of crust. Looks like there's a layer of kind of chocolate, dark chocolate. Then there looks like to be a cream filling. And then on top, it looks like chocolate pudding. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There might be something underneath, but it looks like a very decadent, kind of like Boston cream pie. All right, here we go. Take a bite. Oh, there's a bug in there. Get out. Gross. Alrighty, here we go. Ooh. Oh boy. Is that rich? Oh, that's pretty delicious. So the texture of this pie is very fluffy and puddingy, but light at the same time, not dense. When I say puddingy, I imagine really something quite sweet, and it is sweet, but it's more whipped and airy, but it has a really great chocolate flavor to it. Chocolate and chocolate pudding-like, but it has a really great chocolate flavor to it. Yes, it does taste like chocolate pudding, but there is also kind of a chocolate intensity to it as well, not just like cocoa flavored. And the crust works really well here. We only have a bottom crust, just enough to kind of hold all of this like luscious, fluffy cloudness together. but doesn't take away from anything texturally. It just, at the bottom there, a little bit of kind of tender cookiness almost. Then you got your layer of chocolate and just kind of puddingy, mousse-like fluffiness. I'm not really a cream pie person, but this is really delicious. It's got the richness of cream without feeling overly heavy and decadent. Sweet, but not overly so. A little does go a long way. Really nice. I really admire the chocolate flavor in here. It doesn't taste fake. It actually seems like there's some real chocolate in there rather than being kind of a cocoa flavor. I like that. Okay, next is probably my favorite type of pie, and it's strawberry rhubarb pie. Now this pie, similar to the apple pie, has a top and bottom crust, and it looks like it's dusted with sugar as well. But I don't think there's cinnamon in there. I hope there's no cinnamon because I don't want cinnamon with my strawberry rhubarb pie. It smells great. I can definitely smell the strawberries. This is my favorite pie. I'm not a huge pie person. I don't bake a lot of pies, but this is the one I do bake every year because I love strawberry rhubarb pies so much. I actually usually make it with just one crust. Sometimes I feel like a top crust just makes it too crust heavy, but it is traditional this way. So let's give this one a go. Oh, it's flaky. The filling, oh, there's a big piece of rhubarb right there. Alrighty, here we go. And that's pretty stinking good. The rhubarb adds a nice acidity to it. The strawberry flavor is really pronounced. Rhubarb to me doesn't have much of a flavor of its own. To me, it just adds a lot of acidity, which I really like. And of course you have to add sugar, and there's plenty of sugar in this pie. I like my strawberry rhubarb pie a little bit more acidic. I like that burst of tanginess. The filling in both the apple pie and the strawberry rhubarb pie are wonderful in the sense that they're set. They're not too watery. The crust isn't soggy, which I really appreciate in a pie also. So there's a lot that's been considered and mastered in these pies. They're not overly oozy. They're well-constructed pies. Next, we have the pecan pie. Another classic here. And pecan pie I don't usually get because it tends to be too sweet for me. But since I was doing classic pies, I thought I had to get one. So this has a bottom crust. It has the classic pecan filling underneath, which is very, very sweet. And then on the very top, you've got pecan halves floating on top. So let's give this one a taste. And it's absolutely delicious. Pecans have such a natural, buttery, nutty flavor of their own. It's just, they are a perfect complement to any kind of dessert. And this, of course, is a classic pie for good reason. It's delicious. It's very sweet, but buttery and rich. The filling is slightly sticky, but not oozy. And again, the texture of all these pies are excellent. The filling holds together while maintaining kind of a separateness from the crust, which I really appreciate. You still get some of the flakiness of the crust. It's like a candy bar pie. Really, really good. I just need a bite or two because it is so sweet. Delicious though. Next we have this one, and this style of pie is called a crunch pie because instead of having a top layer of pie crust, it has a kind of streusel, kind of crumb topping on top. This is called the Great Lakes Crunch Pie, and it's full of different berries and I believe rhubarb as well, based on the recipe that's included in this book. And this looks incredible. Let's give this one a go. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, yes, I see some rhubarb. I see some purple berries, what look like they might be blueberries. And then it's got like an oatmeal streusel topping on top. All right, here we go. Oh yeah. That one is great as well. Again, the filling really holds together. This one is slightly pasty. There's probably some kind of starch or flour that thicken the fillings so they don't just ooze all over the place. This one tastes a little bit pasty, but again, it does give you a beautiful slice And there's this clear separation between the crust and the filling. The crust still remains flaky at the bottom. On the top, you've really got a nice streusel topping with a little bit of the chew from the oatmeal. It is sweet on top. It reminds me a little bit of a coffee cake topping, a little bit like granola. Sweet, but you can still taste the berries in there. I definitely tasted some kind of blueberry-ish, blackberry-ish flavors in there. It's delicious. And I think a little bit of raspberry in there as well. I really like the berry flavors in that. I also like the crumb topping on that. A nice little bit of variety in terms of textures in your mouth. Oh. And lastly, I got one of my other favorite pies, pumpkin pie. We're coming on fall here. Pumpkin pie reminds me of Thanksgiving. I always have a little sliver every Thanksgiving because I love pumpkin pie. So combination of spice, pumpkin. Yes, it says Thanksgiving and autumn to me. So had to get some of that. So let's give this a taste. This is a very nice slice of pie, very handsomely cut. A little darker than some of the pumpkin pies I've seen. Maybe there's a lot of spice in here. Let's give it a taste and find out. Oh yeah. There's a lot of clove in this recipe. Very clove heavy. And when I say clove heavy, I'm comparing it to my favorite pumpkin pie recipe, which actually comes from the side of a can of Libby's canned pumpkin. I love that recipe. To me, that's just quintessential classic pumpkin pie. This one is much more heavy in the cloves, which I think is the reason why this pie is so much darker in color. I don't like that flavor so much. Maybe it's just my natural proclivity towards cinnamon flavors, but it's a little bit too kind of potpourri-ish for me. But it still screams pumpkin pie. It's just a little bit too clove heavy for me. But if you like pumpkin pie, it's still a good one. The, again, filling is very well made in the sense that the proportions of the ingredients keep this a very solid pie. It's not oozing all over the place. It makes a beautiful slice. And like all of these pies, the crust is excellent. Yum. Now it's time for a sip of tea. So there you have it, my little taste test of Betty's pies. If you're ever in the Duluth area, take yourself on a beautiful drive of the North Shore and get yourself some pies. You'll probably have to stand in some lines, but it's well worth it. Alrighty, thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I hope you guys learned something. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite pie is. And yeah, please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye! There's bugs everywhere. They want my pie.